Chewys IPO is said to raise $1.02 billion. PetSmart Incorporated controlled Chewy Incorporated and its investors raised $1.02 billion in an expanded initial public offering, pricing its shares above an elevated target range, according to people familiar with the matter. The online supplier of pet food and accessories sold 46.5 million shares on Thursday for $22 each, said the people, who asked not to be identified because the information wasn't public yet. The company on with Chewy, based in Dania Beach, Florida, is valued in the IPO at about $8.8 billion based on the outstanding shares as listed in its U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission filings. Current investors. The public offering follows a heated dispute between PetSmart and its creditors over the transfer of Chewy assets ahead of the IPO. PetSmart and its private equity owners, a group led by BC Partners, moved a portion of the Chewy unit to an unrestricted subsidiary and another to the parent company, both out of creditors' reach. Lenders sued. PetSmart resolved the dispute by amending its loan agreement, promising to give lenders a portion of the proceeds from any eventual sale of the online business, according to people with knowledge of the situation. The exact amount. Related video IPOs could start getting overheated, reporter says, provided by CNBC. Before the offering was expanded, current investors were to have retained a 90% stake in the company as well as 99% of the voting rights as a result of the dual-class share, according to the filings. PetSmart was the Chewy site, started in 2011, logged sales of $3.53 billion for the year ended February 3, up from $2.1 billion from the previous fiscal year, according to the company's prospectus. Chewys IPO should give some financial relief to the closely held pet store, which is saddled with over $8 billion of debt due over the next 6 years. After Chewy raised, a strong public market showing by Chewy will be a positive due to the increased asset coverage it implies and the possibility that some of those assets will be monetized and used to pay down debt in the future, said Ben Briggs, a high-yield and distressed credit analyst with INTL Stone. PetSmart last year, the value of Chewy at $4.45 billion in private documents shared with investors, according to people with knowledge of those documents. After the IPO, the documents also pointed to figures showing that pet parents continue to spend even in times of economic uncertainty. During the 2000s, the offering was led by Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan Chase & Co. and Allen & Co. The shares are expected.
Raindrop, truck, top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.